Part 5, The Final Revelation, 2,000 to 3,000 words. Maya stood frozen in place, her eyes fixed on Thomas. He stepped into the room, his face unreadable, a shadow of the man she once trusted. The letters, the journal, the warnings from her father, they had all led to this moment. The man who had been her father's closest friend, the one person she thought she could rely on, was now standing before her, a stranger wearing a mask of familiarity. "You," Maya whispered, her voice trembling, "you knew all along, didn't you?" Thomas didn't respond immediately. He just stood there, his eyes dark and guarded. There was a heavy silence, thick with tension, before he spoke. "Maya, I didn't want you to get involved in all this. It was never supposed to be your fight," he said softly, his tone laced with regret. "But your father, he was stubborn. He couldn't let go of the truth. And in the end, that's what got him killed." Maya shook her head, her thoughts racing. "Killed? You're saying my father was murdered? But why? What's going on, Thomas?" He sighed, stepping closer to her, but Maya took a step back. She couldn't let him close. "Not now. Your father's death wasn't an accident, Maya," Thomas continued, his voice quieter now. "He was on the verge of discovering something monumental, something that would change everything. There are people, powerful people, who have been pulling the strings for decades. And your father, he was getting too close to the truth." Maya's pulse quickened. "What truth? What are you talking about?" Thomas hesitated, his gaze shifting to the floor, before meeting her eyes again. "It's about control, Maya. Power. Your father had stumbled upon a secret that had been buried for generations. A network of influence, a hidden organization that controls everything, businesses, governments, everything. And your father's research was about to expose them. They couldn't let that happen." Maya took a deep breath, trying to process what he was saying. "You're saying my father was killed because he knew too much?" "Yes," Thomas replied, his voice strained. "But it wasn't just your father. They've been watching you too. All this time. Your father's death was just the beginning. They thought they could stop him, but they didn't count on you, Maya. They didn't count on you finding out." Her heart hammered in her chest. The letters, the warnings, everything was falling into place. But why? Why was she involved in all of this? "I don't understand," she said, her voice cracking. "Why me? Why did you send me those letters? What do you want from me?" Thomas's eyes softened, and for a moment, he looked almost human again, vulnerable, regretful. But then, that look vanished, replaced by the cold, calculating gaze of a man who had made his choice long ago. "I didn't send you the letters, Maya," he said. "Your father did. And I think you know that. He knew you were strong enough to handle this. He knew you'd keep going even when things got dangerous. But he also knew that you'd have to face the truth, no matter how ugly it was." Maya took a step forward, her mind racing. "So what is it you want from me, Thomas? What's your role in all of this?" Thomas sighed deeply, running a hand through his hair. "I'm not your enemy, Maya. At least, not in the way you think. I'm trying to protect you. This organization, it's too powerful, too dangerous. They'll stop at nothing to keep their secrets safe. But I can help you. I can show you how to fight back." Maya narrowed her eyes, her mind processing everything he had just said. He wasn't her enemy? Was he telling the truth? Or was this just another manipulation? "You want me to join you," she said slowly, a dark realization dawning. "You want me to help you fight against this organization, whatever it is. But why? What's in it for you?" Thomas didn't flinch, but his expression hardened. "It's not about me, Maya. It's about stopping them. If we don't do something, they'll keep hurting people. They'll keep hiding the truth. They can't win this time." Maya felt the weight of his words settle on her like a heavy cloak. She had come so far, she couldn't back down now. She needed answers. She needed to know everything. "How do we stop them?" she asked, her voice steady now. "What do we have to do?" Thomas looked at her, his eyes filled with a mixture of admiration and something darker. "The first step is understanding the truth. The second step is exposing them. And the third will require more than just knowledge. It will require a sacrifice." Maya's heart skipped a beat. "Sacrifice? What do you mean?" Thomas's gaze darkened, and for the first time, Maya saw a flicker of fear in his eyes. "I mean that you can't fight this battle without losing something important. That's the cost of truth, Maya. It always has been." Maya stepped back, her breath catching in her throat. She had never imagined it would come to this. She had thought she could just uncover the truth, expose the people responsible, and walk away. But now she understood, this wasn't just about uncovering a mystery. It was about survival, about protecting herself, And the people she loved. Her thoughts were interrupted by a sudden noise, an eerie, metallic creaking from the hallway outside the study. The sound of footsteps. Not just one pair, but many. Maya's heart froze in her chest. They were here. The people Thomas had warned her about. The people who had been watching her all along. Thomas's eyes widened in alarm. They found us, he muttered. You need to go, Maya. Now. But it was too late. The door slammed open, and figures cloaked in black entered the room, their faces hidden behind masks. Maya felt a wave of panic surge through her as she realized that escape was no longer an option. One of the figures stepped forward, removing his mask to reveal a cold, calculating face. We've been waiting for this moment, Maya, he said, his voice smooth and deadly. You've gotten too close to the truth. It's time for you to disappear. Maya's heart raced as she backed away, her eyes darting for an escape. Thomas stepped in front of her, blocking her path. Get out of here, Maya. Now, he shouted. But the figures were already moving toward them, surrounding them. Maya's mind raced. She had to act. She couldn't let them take her, not after everything she had uncovered. In one desperate move, she grabbed the nearest object, a heavy lamp from the desk, and swung it at the nearest figure. The lamp collided with his head, and he crumpled to the floor, unconscious. It wasn't enough. More figures advanced, but Maya's resolve hardened. She wasn't going down without a fight. Not after everything she had discovered. Not after everything her father had sacrificed to protect her. As the figures closed in, Maya's only thought was clear: she would not be silenced.